Welcome everyone to the Minecraft Hardcore Challenge for January 2019. This is the horse challenge where we are to find and tame a horse, and we're also to visit 3 different villages that are specified through coordinates. As you can see, I have coordinates showing on my UI here. This is a little something, little data pack created by Batty. I used this in base race. In fact, it's incorporated into the base race set, so it's the default part of base race now. And I'm now using this also in the MHC. Now, in case you're wondering, there are rules in the MHC that specify mods. It says no mods except for Optifine and Baddies, and what they were specifying in Baddies then was a little thing called Baddies Coordinates mod, which is something that doesn't work in 1.13. So this is the successor to that, and I'm going by the assumption that Baddies data pack can be used in its stead, seeing how this is very well. That this is a more primitive version, maybe not primitive isn't the right word, but it's not as powerful as the original mod program was, but it does basically the same thing. Therefore, I'm going by the assumption that this is also being allowed as its successor. There we go. Just a couple of trees in order. I know I like to replant even when it's a bit silly here in this little land here that no one else is going to be at. Now I have coordinates to the 3 villages, so I'll be visiting them. And hopefully I'll be finding a horse along the way, and maybe something to help me in using the horse, because what good is it to have a horse if you can't go around riding it? And as you can see, we no longer have rules against harvesting wood in this particular run, which is what we had last month. Maybe I should remember what my recipes are. Good. I guess because last month I wasn't allowed to use any wood, I was like, oh, what do you do with the wood now? Yeah, this stuff. Well, let's see, what will we need? At the very least, we will be needing a wooden pickaxe. And you're going to have a sword. I mean, an axe along with the pickaxe. And that could come in handy on a couple of circumstances. But I think we should start heading out, and let's see. This is... Our first one is at minus 200 and... Ooh. No, 200. Therefore, we want to go this way. Good. Who cares? See, I may have a cornice pack in here, but I can still get lost. I think I proved that pretty much in the base race, I think. So, in that particular one, I think there are plenty of excuses to get lost in. I might as well gather a little bit more in here, but I do need to make sure I go far enough along to... Well, alright. I found the first village! Alright, the first village isn't all that far away. Let me see if there is a saddle in here, because I'm hoping that there is one. See, this is 216, this is Riverton, and since there's a river here, I could see why it's called Riverton. Now I am going to have to make sure I find a place where... Yep. Actually, I was originally thinking, well, maybe I shouldn't do this in a shouldn't do a snapshot version of this, but then again, doing a snapshot version of this might make it a little bit more interesting, since they could be three different villages that I could be visiting in here. Unless they're all savanna villages or something like that, then we could see variations on it. And I was wondering what to do in place of the base race, since it won't be around this month. So I think I will do a a 1.14 version of this run just to see what we've got on the differences and the like. I don't know if it will be playable there, and I don't know if Baddies is going to run in 1. I guess that's one of the things that we'll learn there. Does Baddies operate in 1.14? Because usually mods traditionally don't, but since this is a data pack, is it compatible or is it going to just completely fail? That That's a rather strange house there. Just want to see if I can find anything in there. Weird stuff. Alright, I'm supposed to explore these villages, right? Well, actually, it just says visit. It doesn't say anything about necessarily exploring them, but anything in there? Probably not. Yeah, nah, nothing interesting in there. Now, it is getting to be... It's about noon. Well, it's just after noon. There's nothing really particularly useful here, unfortunately. I should get some food here. I don't think oh, no, there are crops there. Yeah, I went by some crops just as I first came across here. Yeah. Let's grab some wheat, because wheat is certainly allowed. We don't have any dietary restrictions this month. I'm sure a lot of people are happy about that after those months where we said, oh yeah, you could only eat pie or something like that. Or last month where it says, oh, you can't chop down trees, which was a bit of a pain for me last month, considering, well, at least when I did the retry after I got blown up, where I was doing the war against the Illagers, and when I was doing that war, all sorts of nasty things happened, of course. Yeah, let's take care of that. Alright, that gives me 3 loaves of bread. That can be handy. Ooh, some more here. Looks like they like their wheat here. Alright, that's 4 loaves of bread. I want to be out of here before it gets dark. We don't want the village to be wiped out, because it's sort of rude to come in. It's bad enough taking their stuff, but to have them get killed as a result of it also is just adding insult to injury. Or more likely adding injury to insult, I guess, if they're being killed as the side effect. And let's see, 23... Alright, there you go. 6 loaves of bread. Alright, thank you very much. And I think I better get out of here before the invasion comes. Find a nice place where I could start to do some digging. Let's see, the next village is at 260 minus 420, which would be down in this way. Let me head out this way, start to get a good distance from this village so that we won't have zombies popping in all over the place on top of them. Now, unfortunately, a good place for me to have gone would have been where there were some good hills. Now, I don't want to go too far because... Oh, but they're at minus 420. So it won't be a problem here. Ah! There's a good place right there. I went to a place where I could dig in readily enough. And I think this hillside would be perfect for that particular endeavor. And we seem to be a nice distance from the village. Hopefully I could find some... Oh, actually, say I could find some coal, be that... I guess because I was thinking of it last month where coal was such an important thing to get. It's not as important now because I do have wood, and I can at least get small amounts of stuff done there. And let's see, let me close that off. And now unfortunately it's going to be dark for a moment until I get some light here. But that can't be helped. Let's try a crafting bench right there. And let's try a furnace. Right there. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Actually, first thing I want to do is to get some wood. Sounds like there's a cave in the area or something like that. I still don't know. Still not familiar with all of the sounds within the game. Let's just drop that into here. At least we can see for a moment until the lights go out, but then we will have charcoal after it's done, which will give us some more long-lasting light. Good. Now I don't need any. See, I'm at 59, so I am low enough to get iron. I don't need diamonds or anything like that. So I'm not going to try for anything like that. I do need to keep track of my timer. Now, if I get some gold, it would be good because that could get me a clock or something like that. Good. Good. Let's try that. And let's get that up there. That down here. And we can start some digging. Oh, actually, I'm going to do extensive digging. I think we need a stone pick. That would be good. See how much we can get before. Oh. Well, then, let's just throw in one more of that to get one additional. There you go. Now, much better. And, of course, a lot easier to find iron if you don't need it. Well, okay, that's just how people perceive things. There you go. But the idea here then is to collect all the coal and all the iron I need. Then maybe when tomorrow we could go to. We were at Riverton today, the village that was right on the edge of the river. Tomorrow, on the next episode, we'll go to Hilton, which, based on the name, I'm going to guess is going to be on a hill. And I don't know how that's going to be more of a Hilton than this last one, which it seemed to be on some rather nasty hills on itself. So this one must be on some really hilly terrain. Now, I don't know if it's going to be another savanna or if it's going to be something else. Now, we are under large biomes, so it could be another savanna village. The third one is called Sandtown. I'm pretty sure that third one is going to be a desert area. But we'll find out. There you go. And then finally, let's take care of these. Good. There you have it. And alright, I think that's all going to be set up in there. How are we doing for time? Oh, we're 14 minutes in. Okay, that means I still have more to. Oh, but I can start smelting this. I now have this all nice charcoal, and I've got 12 pieces of iron, so I could at least get the first block of it smelted, and get some iron tools, which never hurts to have iron tools. I think that's our best thing, at least in something like this where you need to worry about the most. They usually don't worry about diamonds in an MHC because I know some people they go for it right away or something like this, but I this is a short-term world. In a long-term world, yes, I can understand the diamonds and all that stuff. Short-term world, are you going to be... If you run into them, great and wonderful. And if you don't, well... There are... It's not a major problem. Now, let's see. Now, you do have horses. Now, I'm just thinking that what I'd be more worried about then would, of course, be getting some horses, because that is the main thing I want to worry about, getting horses. So if I find a good treasure, that's right, if I find a treasure or something like that, then the thing to find will be a saddle. Because if we're going to go through trouble taming a horse, then it would be nice if we actually went and did something with that horse. Being able to ride it, getting a saddle or something like that. There's nothing in the MHC that says you have to actually ride the horse after taming it. If you go through the trouble, why not? It's sort of like baking a cake and not eating it afterwards. I mean, why go through the trouble of doing it? Well, okay, I suppose that if you're baking the cake for someone else or something like that, then it would be, then you wouldn't eat it afterwards. But you're expecting somebody to eventually be eating it. That's the entire point there. There you go. And so, I mean, why go through the trouble of doing it if you're not going to get the, the fun bit afterwards, right? Right. Now, let's go and, much better. All right, good. Now, the main thing we want, is there anything else that we need here? Well, getting more iron is probably the main thing here. Now, maybe tomorrow we may dig a little bit deeper. See if we get some gold. Now, a clock is, I think it was it Cub Fan who listed the clock as one of the 10 most useless items in Minecraft. I sort of disagree with that assessment, because I think that a clock is a really nice thing to have, especially if you're going to be spending your nights underground like this and you're running a series where taking advantage of the daylight as much as possible is an important factor there. Actually, I think I've gone about as far as I Now, that's called not paying attention. Look at this. Look at this right here. I went right on top of it and didn't even notice. Oops. See, gravel. Now, trouble with gravel is, gravel, now you could get flint out of it. Not much you can do with flint. Except, of course, if you can somehow get feathers, you could make arrows with them and stuff like this. Now, getting feathers is tough, of course, because you're not allowed to kill chickens for feathers. There was one MHC, I think, where they had a special rule that, yes, you can kill chickens for their feathers. It was where you're required to only use bows in that one. In the earliest possible, get a bow, and you use an axe in order to kill chickens, but other than that, you had to use the bow as much as possible for your self-defense. That was before my time on it, but I think I did try running that one off camera when I was going back and seeing some of the old ones. I don't think I did very well in that, but that's the idea on there, is that normally you're not going to be able to do too much with flint, because you've got chickens are... You can't kill the chickens, that's why. Since you can't kill the chickens, you're not going to be able to make any arrows. Now, I'm hoping that maybe something in a village or something like that might be able to have some feathers in them. Who knows? Because occasionally you could run the feathers through other means, and just in case, and that's why I'm bringing the gravel. I know that's a pretty long explanation for saying, yeah, I'm doing it anyway, even if it's low odds. But I think we are hitting the episode is over, so we'll be back next time where we are going to visit Hilton.